Yo, everybody. Welcome to your AEW Dynamite review. I am Jeff, and over there he stole my belt, it's Ryan. I don't
What up, everybody?
like this.
It's your boy. You know what it is? Champ, like I said, it wasn't going to be for long. Got my title back. Two-time.
It's BS. He even has his Keith Lee voice on.
You know, I had to do what I do.
Yeah,
I had to get the Keith Lee voice on just for
get my
this.
Keith Lee going.
You know you just mad.
Oh, I'm not mad.
You
I'm
mad.
pissed.
You mad because my girl legit took a W at that pay-per-view. And you never ended up picking that tag match. So I said, hey, who you taking?
I didn't?
No, the pre-show match they added. They added that
Oh,
pre-show match
yeah.
after the review.
I remember you said yes, and then I didn't do it. So,
And I said, what are you picking? And you went, and I said, House of Black, and boom, I got it. Either way,
well, I would have picked the House of Black anyway, so that would have been it.
Me and Jeff basically had 100% minus that Britt Baker match at the pay-per-view.
Yeah, I think everybody picked Thunderosa on that one.
But other than that, great pay-per-view. We didn't do a review for it, obviously. So here we are with our Dynamite review, Jeff. So how did Dynamite start off with?
Started off with me. And I was like, yeah. Hold on.
Got you. So you
I
came
had
out to
Fightful
Judas?
News up, and then
that what
it
happened?
disappeared.
That was
I
you
said,
coming out to Judas?
Like that.
Judas came out. And
it was the Judas.
It was Chris Jericho. He opened the show.
Yeah, he was very Judas-like this time because...
You saw this coming a mile away when he didn't shake his hand that something was going to happen. So I predicted last week, I guess, on Rampage before the show that it was going to happen at the show. And it didn't. And they ended up saving it till Dynamite, I guess, so they wanted more eyes on it for the people who didn't get to see the pay-per-view. And basically, like I said, it's really hard to turn Santana, Ortiz, and Eddie Kingston babyface because they're being loved by everybody. And Jericho's going down more of the dark path. So
yes,
that's what we got out of this whole thing. We get Jericho being Jericho.
He did his babyface shtick to start it, which was very good, by the way. He had you believe him from in. He just was trying to be a really nice guy, and you're like, wow, that's really nice of him. Good for you, Chris. But he had his hair down, and you're like, that's not Chris. Nope. Chris doesn't do this. So, and he was wearing his Inner Circle vest, and that for some reason, I don't know why that tipped me off on something. I don't want to sound like I was smarter than everybody else or anything. I don't think I'm smarter than everybody else, but for some weird reason, him wearing the Inner Circle vest was like, that's strange. I don't know why it was strange, but it was strange to me.
Well, that was strange. And then when the attack happened, it was strange how they shoved him to the ground and then walked
and
away
he
from him
just
as he
rolled over real quick,
rolling with his neck. That he really did not milk the entire way down. That's why I was like, yo, he's turning. Like, but continue. I apologize.
He went to go get Floyd, and it's not a dumb move.
It wasn't. I mean, Eddie Kingston came out and had one of the best. He always has the best promo. But
pulls at your heartstrings every time he puts. Every time he
basically he hit on real life from the fan fest and how people basically didn't commit suicide because of his player tribute, which was emotional and selfless to hear, and like how choked up he got about it, which was Eddie Kingston uses.
He's much more real.
He uses life,
a lot of realism in his stuff
to coincide with everything. I try to use a better word, but I can't think of it right now. And it was very heartfelt, it was emotional. I didn't do it for you. You're not doing this for you. All that blah 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 fun stuff,
right?
And that's what we got out of it.
Yeah, and so the beatdown happens. He hits Eddie with Floyd. He hits
2.0 Garcia come out.
Ortiz.
Well, so Santana Ortiz come out to help him. They beat up. They have Garcia. Santana's holding Garcia, and as he's holding him up, and Ortiz went to go help Kingston. All you hear is crack because he nailed Santana with the bat. Then hits Ortiz, and they beat the shit out of all of them. And then Hager comes out going, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" And what he was doing.
He was rocking his Inner Circle vest as well.
Exactly. So you knew, and boom, he turns around, knocks out. I forget who it was. I think it was Santana again. Santana got his ass whooped tonight.
No, he beat up Ortiz first because Santana was the
Ortiz?
one who ended up going through the table.
No,
in the
Eddie Kingston
very
went through the table.
reckless.
No, Eddie Kingston went through the table. He powerbombed Eddie
Oh
Kingston.
yeah. Never mind. You're right. You're right.
And it almost looked like he hit his head. Listen, Revolution had a bunch of scary head drops. One being Jericho's match where Jericho hit his head, and which is why his neck was hurting the way Eddie Kingston when he.
Oh yeah, I read
one.
that.
But
yeah, that he had a bad.
Ricky Starks hit the ladder with his neck and not his back.
Yeah. I heard that Orange, or in my news, Orange Cassidy got hurt off of a Keith Lee move.
Keith Lee threw him out over the top rope onto, I can't remember who the two people were that caught him, and they caught him, but he kept going through, and his arm was out and jammed it on the thing. So it doesn't need surgery, but he's out for a while.
Yeah, he's a little out of service.
But yeah, so I mean, there's some scary incidents that had happened during the pay-per-view with people with neck injuries.
Very true.
So when Eddie Kingston got powerbombed from a 6'6" Jake Hager onto that table, I was a little worried at first because I wasn't sure of his neck. But Sammy didn't come out, and they're now called the Circle Jerk. No, I'm sorry. Jericho Appreciation Club.
The
Jericho
Appreciation Society.
The Jericho Appreciation Society. Yep.
They're trying to do the jars thing, but
they're copying us.
He stole jars. That's
it's all right. You can copy all you want, Jericho. I want my royalties. Anyway,
for money you can do anything.
We had that. That transitioned right into a match, if I remember correctly.
And not just any match.
They didn't hold bars. I did not see this, by the way, on the card at all. This was not seen on the card, and boom, we jumped to that world title match, like Jeff said.
No, Tony announced it on Twitter earlier in the day.
Oh, okay, that's why.
That there was going to be that he was going to defend his title right away.
We had two people defending their titles, by the way, tonight.
Because it said same about Jurassic Express. So
yeah, Jurassic Express also defended their titles tonight, along with Sammy later in the night. But this match was very, very good. As you expect, Dante Martin can throw down. He already fought Kenny Omega, I want to say, when he was first hitting that singles area to go for that title. I think they used him in the same concept when he had won the title, when Kenny Omega had won the title that one time. I think they used him.
I believe they did. Yeah, I believe he had
in a match
with Kenny.
And again, he put on a great match. They counted each other really, really well. It was quite impressive. The ending was a duck into a buckshot off of multiple
good too, because it's just like one of them things where like your speed is good, but it still shows the veteran is always going to get a hold of him for now. You know,
yeah, it was great.
But he put on a hell of a match. And then afterwards, it got real confusing. For no goddamn reason. What the heck is this thing? Because he basically he afterwards he like pulled him back from because he was going up the ramp.
He said, "Dante, get back in the ring."
Yeah, and he told him how good he was, and like it was cool to see like the champion like giving him his flowers kind of thing.
Yeah,
but at the end of it, this is what was confusing. I was kind of expecting a new feud to begin. But I think what's going on here is Hangman is getting pulled into this elite storyline, and I believe there's a Kenny Omega on the horizon, because Adam Cole comes out after he has already lost this match. He lost his, so it should be another situation back of the line. And he says like he won't stop until he gets his title, and that there will be a 6-man tag next week. And he was very blurry on saying who he was going to have as his partners. He just said it's two guys who know you very well. And obviously, there's two different choices there. It's either going to be Red Dragon or it's going to be the Bucks. You assume the Bucks just because they say they know you well. It turns out later on we'll find out that it is indeed not the Bucks. It's going to be the Red Dragons.
But so I thought that Hangman was going to take because he focused on Dante Martin, and he said Dante Martin and Darius, a great tag team, stuff like that. So I thought they were going to go that route. Hangman was going to take those two. I thought that's how it was going to go. But I knew when he was talking about that, you're like, all right, they're talking about the Young Bucks. But as soon as the Young Bucks said, yo, we told you we're not going to fight. We're not going to fight Hangman. Like, we're not doing that anymore. We're done with Hangman. He was like, oh, crap, and changed his mind at that moment. He was taking the Young Bucks. And then he changed his mind because the Bucks said, I'm not tagging with you. That's what happened. I'm almost certain of that. That's the play. The way they acted that out, the way they played that out, I'm certain that's what was going on. They said, no, we're not going to fight for you because they said in that promo that you find out. And
yeah,
that's what happened. And then we find out later in the night as well, which we'll get right now. Hangman ended up picking Jurassic Express because he went to the Dark Order because there were some issues at the pay-per-view with some miscommunication and stuff. And he had said, oh, they'd asked me in the hallway, Jurassic Express. So I just said, yeah, it was kind of awkward to say no to them, like right in the hallway type of deal.
Yeah, so he basically he stiffs the Dark Order again.
Yep. Which again, like Jeff said, I think this is leading to when Kenny Omega returns type of deal, us seeing some things maybe or may not working out. And Hangman
because I see somehow the Bucks turning towards.
They're definitely turning on Adam Cole, no matter what. They're turning on Cole.
And I think Cole's is going to be with his Red Dragon guys eventually. And then the Bucks, Kenny, and maybe Hangman does rejoin that elite.
I think he may rejoin them. I think they're hoping for Roderick Strong to come over, and then you have
a 4-on-4.
The 4-on-4 with the ex-Undisputed Era taking on the elite with Hangman back in their corner type of deal, and they go babyface. I think they're going to end up going babyface soon.
And I think they will because I saw a clip. Was it? I did because again I did not see the buy-in either. Was there like in the middle of the buy-in? Did Don Callis come out?
Yes, he did. So they had Kenny Omega's music
with Kenny's music,
and he trolled them, and it was just him basically saying, "Hey."
But it was like a pop, like holy crap, like
fans went
people
crazy.
were really excited to see Kenny.
People want Kenny back.
So I think when Kenny comes back, you can pull him as a babyface, and I think everybody.
I think you need to pull him as a babyface. So I think you need to get rid of Don Callis. That's the thing, though.
Yeah.
I don't think Don Callis is great as a heel. I don't think he portrays the babyface because no one likes him. I don't think you can get him over as a babyface.
I think it just becomes weird.
So that was the first match. That was the first thing, and we threw in a couple of segments in the middle of that. And then we jumped from all of that, Jeff, into another fantastic match. And it's a tag match.
Yeah.
With the Regal Boys, as I'm going to call them right now.
Oh, the Regals.
The Regals.
Regals.
Bryan Danielson and Jon Moxley taking on the Workhorsemen.
The Workhorsemen.
JD Drake and Anthony Henry.
The other attack there.
The Wingmen also have the Workhorsemen, I guess, because I think they were called the Workhorsemen. I think they said it on the thing. I may have missed it, but I thought it said in commentary.
They should be called the Wing Horsemen.
No, they were on the independent team. They're called the Workhorsemen.
Yeah,
which is what this is the team they do. But I thought I heard them say something about Ring of Honors when they tagged together as the Ring Horse.
That was one of the places that they use for the Horseman.
So that's why they're, I think, building to that. I think you're end up seeing those guys transition over. But again, neither here nor there. We'll see that eventually. I saw something about March something on YouTube. I don't know what to do on March 23rd on YouTube.
I'll have to check it out.
But I thought I saw it during that first promo. So you had this tag match. They actually let the Workhorsemen get in some good offense on these guys. But in the end, Bryan Danielson hit him with the bell lock after.
Yes. And Mox, I'm pretty sure he
paradigm shifted.
He paradigm shifted the man on the outside.
Yep. JD Drake got the submission, and Henry got the paradigm shift.
Yep. And then the bell lock was tapped, and then we had Tony Schiavone.
And the gentleman.
We had Mr. Regal pick up a microphone. And man, is that really friggin' cool to see William Regal. And I think people need to stop underestimating Tony Schiavone.
29 years.
It seems like so many people in like the past and all have really like
had a great relationship with Tony.
He's been a much bigger like place in wrestling than I will admit that I thought.
Regal let people know a lot about that in this thing. He said, we've had our time together. I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, he hit him with a little bit of a flirt for a hot minute
Yeah,
there.
he hit him with that flirt type of deal. I was cracking up like
Yeah, I was like, what is going
with
on?
suit. I was like,
Am
oh,
I
Regal,
missing
I
something?
love you. I love you,
I
Regal.
love you, Tony.
But I mean, he basically went on to say about he met Brian 29 years ago or 21 years ago. And he's everything that I wish I could have been, but I basically went down a darkened path in my life, and it's why I'm
His
where I
path
am.
is a little bit darker than his, so.
And he, they would train, everyone would leave, and he'd be until midnight working with Brian, all that stuff. He was a workhorse, basically, all that type of stuff. And then he said, and you, I'm going to get to you in a minute. And they got to Moxley and just said that I met this man 11 years ago, and he's the most violent person I've ever met. Like, Brian is the best wrestler, and basically Moxley is the biggest
He's like,
brawler.
he'll just kick your ass.
Yeah. So I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for them to introduce Cesaro into this trio, and then we get the trios titles later down the line, and these are your first trios champions. I'm just
See, I kind of thought
area.
for some reason, I thought that it was going to be the Adam Cole's partners. He said something about like these guys are gamers or like something like that. Like he said something gaming related, I feel like, in that promo. I can't remember at the moment, but
So
I
you were
swore
thinking it
he
was going to be
said
Tyler
something.
Breeze and Cesaro?
And I thought, Breeze and Cesaro? And like, how do they know Adam Page?
Yeah, so they don't know Page.
No, but like I was sitting there like, that's a weird, because it's the way it sounded like he was talking as if he didn't know Red Dragon would be like his picks, or like they said like these guys, like instead of just saying like one of
If you remember Up Down Down, they did game together, so like they do have a gaming history, those two as well, Red Dragon and them.
Yeah, but I feel like I thought like he was tricking everybody, like, aha, it's not even the people you thought it was, like, and then that's.
I mean, that would have been awesome if they appeared.
And then Xavier would just like cry tears from afar, like they're all my friends. I'm over here honking a horn saying New Day rocks.
And then now putting back on the channel all this WWE 2K22 stuff, but
I do need that game.
It looks good, but I want that GM mode. Really but that GM mode
I don't have $60.
That GM mode is weak as hell compared to what the original one was. They could do a lot more with that.
It seems like they have some good stuff going on, but
you can only do singles and doubles. That's it. There's no tag team titles or anything.
What?
Yeah,
that seems fucking weird.
It's very hot. So
after we get we're done with so Regal gets his thing, and basically he says like get stepped on or step aside or something like that. Oh, it's either step up or get stepped on.
Yeah, step up or step on. Yeah.
And we still don't have a name for them. Don't have a T-shirt.
The Regal for them. I'm telling you, that's what they're called.
But we do have. I'm going to call them the Violent Technicians.
I like that. That's a dope.
Because one is really violent and one's a technical master.
The Violent Technicians. I like that combo, Jeff.
I'm just saying, AEW. If you just pay me for the name, you guys can have it. You heard
$1 million. No, I'm just kidding. But no, I like the name. That's a good name. The Violent Technicians.
So we're going with the Violent Technicians. But until that, so then after this, we have apparently, which is I think was cool how they explained it, is since the title match did not go a full 60 minutes, they had a stand-in match ready to go, and that stand-in match was Pac versus Wheeler Yuda. Thank you, AEW, for that. Good match.
That was
another good match between two very good people, and it's good to see Wheeler Yuda getting a lot of time against these high springing veterans, something like Pac. So obviously, Pac gets the brutalizer tapped in, and bam, bam, bam.
Yeah, but it was after a well-fought match by Yuda. That was Yuda put on a very, very a good match here.
Yeah, Yuda was very good, and he's always very good. It's not the time to pull the trigger on him being the guy.
I was kind of upset that we didn't see Redbeard come out with them, though. That was my only thing.
I feel like he was just kind of a one-off because they still want to they want Phoenix to be the guy. Like Phoenix is still going to be the guy who's going to take that. So I think.
Well, I figure if you bring Redbeard in, and then the House of Black gets an extra person, like a.
I was going to say he kind of looked more like he belonged in the House of Black than he did with Penta. Like Redbeard's this big tattooed fella. You think like, yeah, that's like people were saying on. I saw people put on Twitter and stuff like, Buddy Matthews needs to cover himself in tattoos quick, or else he's gonna be booted from the House of Black.
Yeah, dude. He's like they're both tatted. Then you have this guy who's not tatted at all. It's hilarious.
Yeah, but that guy also is very good at wrestling, so I guess that's why
Yes,
they let
he
him do it.
is.
I know that's
Yep.
why I would. I'd be like, okay, sorry,
Throw
you're a
another
good
person
wrestler,
into
man.
that group, and then you're set.
But yeah, so that was a good match. It was a lot of filler. There was nothing that came out of it. No House of Black pop up. Nothing.
No, but we had another. So we had a breakup at the beginning of the show, which
Yeah.
I think AEW has done this a couple times where they do the same thing in the same night, and it just kind of it's not as
It's
fun.
very
I guess.
confusing because if you
Like
think
you could have
about
held
it
off on some of this. Like
with
you
this one, right?
held off.
If you think about this breakup here, it's like not even. It's weird because like the Pinnacle's a thing still, right?
Well, I don't know
Because there's so many breakups within the Pinnacle tonight.
So somewhere Wardlow came out. I think we missed Wardlow coming out.
No, his was a little further down the line. He had a.
I
Really
thought
good
he came
promo.
out before FTR broke apart.
Well, because I have it's.
Oh no, it was after. You're right. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was after. So FTR basically tells Tully Blanchard to go screw off. You're out of the family. You're not family anymore. And they kick Tully Blanchard out of the Pinnacle, or at least out of FTR.
Right.
So FTR is going to go fight the Young Bucks and Red Dragon because they're mad at them. That's family business. That's what they have to take care of family business for, which I was a little confused about. I mean, I get it because they interfere with their both their things, but he was. I don't know if you're going to get Tully Blanchard to manage.
MJF maybe.
No,
Since he doesn't have his guy.
No, what's their faces? The Briscoe brothers, and that's how they get brought in with an ROH FTR match type of deal.
Not against it.
But so like they're focused on that. They kick Tully out. Then we jump from that to this other breakup happening, where so it looks like the Pinnacle is breaking up slowly because now they kick Tully Blanchard out, so it's FTR just FTR without Tully Blanchard. They're not really the Pinnacle anymore. Then we jump to the Andrade emergency meeting with Hardy, and he's not dressed in a suit. It's his wife dressed in a suit, and he says, "Look, people don't like me in a suit. Look at you." And they're all basically booing.
Yeah, he said whenever he puts a suit on, he turns into an asshole.
An asshole, and look at you. And then they all chanted asshole at Andrade.
Yes, and he said, "What are you doing? And I know little kids."
And then they go, my sons won't turn their back on me. See, and then slowly, like you expect, they put their thumbs down and they attack him, beat him up. And then the swerve that I like the best is Sting and Darby come out first.
Right, and you're kind of confused because you're like,
And the best part is through all this, like all these helps didn't run to the ring. They walked to the ring, slowly got in the ring, number one. Then Jeff Hardy comes out. When he comes out and he's doing his thing down the ramp instead of running to the ring, he is going crazy.
His brother's getting his ass whooped, and he's like, yeah.
And then jumps in and he makes the rescue, and Jeff Hardy is all elite. Fans go crazy.
The fact they got the Hardy Boys music was banging because I was like, what the? Well, that blew my mind more because you kind of knew that Jeff Hardy was coming out in the segment. That was the whole point.
Yeah.
But when I heard them big boy drums start hitting, I was like, oh
god, this is OG.
I was like, they got the whole thing. I was like, either that or Tony just lost his mind. I was like, sue me, I don't care. So
from what I heard, they got the rights.
Yeah, well, I guess it's gonna be harder because I'm pretty sure WWE is holding on to no more words now. So Jeff won't have his own thing anyway. And I mean, granted, Mikey Ruckus could always just batter them up a brand new thingy thing, but
yeah, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah. So he hasn't so far.
So they come out, they hug, and then Darby and Jeff look at each other. So I'm assuming that may be a singles match down the line, or at least those two are going to.
Because that's the whole thing is, that Darby is a young Jeff Hardy, and he's an enigma, and you also have that, so now the original Enigma meets the mirror version, oh my god, you're you, but me.
Yeah, exactly. So I think you'll see a singles match there. If not, you're going to see a tag match between the Hardys and Sting and Darby. I think that's definitely down the line.
Now we know that Sting will be the one who makes the most death-defying dives. So,
after that pay-per-view dive,
that was nuts. He dove off of He dove
62?
62. Yes, that is.
I can't do that. 34, whatever old I am. I don't even know.
He's getting AARP emails. He's like. They're like, yo, we can set you up with Social Security. He's like,
I get
dive off this
emails.
counter. Like, what, you get them? How do you get them so early?
You can get an AARP at this age. There's no age restriction.
I thought that meant you old as shit.
No, there's actually no age restriction on AARP. You can get it at your age. It's just certain benefits only to apply to older people.
I need to be old, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Anyway, so he comes out. It's very nice. So I think we're gonna see something there. Then we get Swerve Strickland.
Swerve.
Get ready to say he has a match on Rampage, but they don't have a combatant for him yet. And who comes up? None other than his old nemesis, Tony Nese.
So 205 Live is alive and well here at in
AEW. And he was salty because he goes, "Why did you get this whole big entrance and I don't get anything?" Because it's
Swerve.
And whose house is it, Tony?
Swerve's house.
He goes, sorry.
I like how he blows a kiss at the end of it all the time. It's great. He gives little smooches. But I mean, I'll tell you straight in front, I think Swerve isn't a future guy. I think he's like, you need to push him now guy. But not that he's old. I think he's a stud.
You're not going to push him, right? That's my problem, though. What do you do? Push him to the title picture?
No, but I think he's a stud. Like, you just need to start. He needs to be promoted on TV every week.
Kind of like but like, who are you going to put him?
What they do with Jade? Jade didn't win a title when she showed up, but when you put her on there, you knew she was a star. And you're like,
well, Swerve's a star. I mean, Swerve's definitely a star. Right. I can't wait to see what he's doing in AEW. I hope they give him way more.
I just don't want to not see him for 5 weeks. You know what I'm saying?
No, I want to see him every week.
On there because he, as a wrestler, is just a huge. Like his wrestling is just dynamic, and he has the mic skills. You don't have to wait on his mic skills like some of these guys. Like, trust me, I still think what's his name's a little bit behind. Like, I think Danny Garcia's mic work is getting better, but I don't think he's at perfect.
I
think Wheeler Yuda is. I don't know. I don't hear his voice if it's not on BTE. You know, and he's in such a he's in a faction with so many personalities that it's hard for him to, to kind of break out on his own as far as that goes. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's in a stable with the Best Friends, Danhausen, Orange Cassidy. Like, these guys are just like, they ooze personality. So it's going to be very hard to do that, So I think best bet is, I think he's the best one to just go with right now. Like, you can definitely move Swerve right now because you give him a microphone and people are they're gonna shut up.
He was hitting it. He was on fire hitting it. I agree.
So Swerve does get an opponent for Rampage this week, and it will be
Tony Nese,
the premier athlete. So that match should probably bang.
Of course it will. I mean, those two are phenomenal. They put on some great bangers in 205 Live. So
yeah,
we're gonna see that.
Nobody saw it because
then we get War Dog, and War Dog.
That guy is also they have been crazy good with him because that was somebody who looks like they've been cutting promos in front of a sold out crowd
forever
for years.
And that's the first time I've ever heard him speak.
And yet he is most intelligent. He is clear. And not once did he hit a stutter or a.
No, he was.
His message was so good and clear that you're like, this guy's like, I'm pumped for babyface Wardlow.
I can't wait. I was upset about what happens later, but I'm excited because I think we're gonna get is he says, I'm done with you, MJF. I just want to be done, win my title, and then sign a contract with AEW. Basically, like, I'm still in a contract with you, but I just want to go and get out and over with. So we'll see if that happens. I think what we're going to end up seeing is MJF costing Wardlow the match, and that's going to lead to an all-out. I think all-out's next with those two going at it.
It has to be only because, like, as the last match, what's his name won, right? It was a new champ.
Yeah, we got a new champ, so that's why.
So it's going to be.
But they could make him a transitional champion because Wardlow's
be the worst. Though you can't have this dude not like. He's almost gone a year without losing, right?
He's gone.
So Scorp hasn't lost in almost a year, and you're going to let him hold the title for 3 days.
I think May was when he last had
for
his
a week.
Loss.
You can't do that. You got let
No,
him.
I agree.
Let them have.
That was my concern with what happened at the end of the match because, like, I think he deserved to win the title. He's the first person ever to have the tag titles and the TNT title, but
exactly.
It's tough because Wheeler deserves the title, but I think MJF's going to cost him the title. He keeps the title. Scorp keeps the title for a little bit longer, and then eventually he will lose it. maybe
Yeah, but
after
give
all
him a solid run for goodness sake.
Give him. I say, if you make out of all the guys that have been champion, if you make him the transitional champion, we got a problem. Like
Yeah,
Cody Rhodes
give
lose it
him what
next
you
week.
need to
I'm good
give
with
him.
that. That's fine with Cody Rhodes losing next week. Not Scorp. Scorp
But-
deserves that title for a
Oh
little bit
god,
longer.
that would be weird. Well, we gotta watch out for Raw next week because Raw is in Jacksonville, and people think that's the big swerve. Is it's going to come to Jacksonville,
And that's
home
when
of
they throw
AEW,
Cody
and
out.
Cody's going to show up.
I'm telling you, I think Cody's going into ROH.
I think so too, but
I'm still saying it.
that'd be some BS.
I mean, that's what they're going to do, though. I guarantee it's what they're doing. And then we had, after Wardlow's promo, then Keith Lee basically is backstage with QT Marshall. And he goes, we'll watch your back. He goes, I got a large back. I'm fine.
Which
Like,
is true. He does.
He said, I don't need you. Basically, I got my own back. And he goes, you're going to regret this. You're going to regret this. You have your problem with Team Taz. We have a problem with Team Taz. Then we jump into our next championship match with Jurassic Express taking on the Acclaim. As always, Max Caster hits those lines perfect.
Yep. And he kept it PG. He kept it, wasn't too crazy. Basically, he just said, please, God, drop the prices of gas, which I agree 100%.
Like, but they were very good lines. The fans hit with it, and they're a great tag team. And
it's true. Everybody does love the Acclaimed.
Yeah. As much as they're heels, you love them. It's really hard to hate them at the same time. But
breaking news. Ben Simmons has been, he was screamed at outside of his hotel room as he tried to get a French latte.
That's
Welcome
great.
back to Philadelphia, Ben.
You bitch. Anyway,
report says Simmons harassed outside of the hotel.
I can't wait for him to throw batteries at his head. That's what's going to happen next.
He's an idiot. He's
well, he's going to get his $20 million because he's suing them.
Yeah, good for him.
So Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy take on
the Acclaimed, and they get their acclaim.
And it was a great back and forth, but the Acclaimed lost.
They lost, but it was a good match.
The Acclaimed had a lot of offense.
Yeah, but it was cool to see them get right back out there. I like the scene that the champs are kind of like doing a little bit more.
At least this week they are. Then we'll see.
As usual, Christian gets involved to stop the chain from doing its thing.
So here is my issue with this whole thing. At the ringside was the Gun Club.
Yeah, for what reason?
So I don't know if you've noticed this, because as it was they won, right? They're in the ring facing this way. The Gun Club's behind them. And as they're cutting to the Jade Cargo promo, which we'll talk about next, the Gun Club jump into the ring. And they never talk about it. They never show it. They jumped the guardrail and started to attack them. And I haven't seen anything on YouTube about it. Maybe I just missed it.
I didn't see anything either. I fell asleep a little earlier last night.
But they cut into the ring, and then the Jade Cargo promo cuts about who's she going to fight, who's going to be her 30-0, and who's going to be the next to get the kiss of death.
Do you think the 30-0?
I thought she was talking about Jade Kiss for a second.
Somebody new.
It's a great album, Kiss of Death. Just gonna put that out there.
Well, she's like a superhero. It's cool how she has like all these cool ass moves.
Throwing out these catchphrases, the Kiss of Death, and I don't know. Maybe
I don't know. Do you think it's going to be someone like outside the company?
Like
or actually, do you think they're going to want her to get the 30-0? Right.
I'm assuming they want her to at least get the 30-0, if not more. I think they want her to hold this title.
Our streak ended at 29.
No, you got to have it at 30. I'm assuming they'll go to maybe get to 50 before she loses this title.
Yeah, I think that's your best bet if you're gonna. But like, you don't have 50 people to wrestle her, unless you literally just start bringing in every.
There's only 23 women wrestlers on the roster, so you have like AQA. She hasn't fought yet. I don't think she's fought Sky Blue yet.
Didn't she fight AQA in Atlantic City? Or was that Brit?
AQA came out to fight.
It was one of the title matches.
Thunderosa, I thought.
Oh yeah, it was Thunderosa. Never mind. You're right. Oh yeah, that makes sense because that's one of her students, I think.
Yeah, but Booker T is her coach.
Oh right.
I don't think it was Jade. Maybe it was Jade Wright. I don't know. So like, there's very limited people. She basically fought everyone on the women's roster that she could fight, minus Britt Baker and maybe Jamie Hayter.
That would be a good one. But we'll have to see.
But so we'll see who her 30th opponent is for her 30-0.
After hers, we get
Then we get to the Thunderosa legit Layla Hirsch match.
Yes.
And this was for the number 1 spot to fight for the title next week in Thunderosa's hometown.
Oh, Dallas, Texas? Or what Texas is this?
Houston,
San Antonio?
San Antonio, Texas, I think it was. So Thunderosa wins. I don't think you saw this match, Jeff, right? This is when you fell asleep.
No, I kind of conked out from here.
So it was a great back and forth. Legit was going to hit her with the extra turnbuckle underneath the ring, like she hit Chris Statlander at the buy-in on Sunday. But Red Velvet comes out, stops her, and helps Thunderosa. Thunderosa hits her with a Thunder Driver, and she wins. There was a little bit of miscommunication, but she should have hit a Thunder Driver and winning. You could tell she was a little injured for the match on Sunday. Then her and Red Velvet celebrate in the middle of the ring. Legit's mad. Obviously, we're going to see a match there with Legit and Red Velvet again. So, and Legit had not lost a match until tonight. Like that was her first loss all year. So
they're building her well. I think that's going to be a good.
Oh yeah,
it's a good villain to have around.
That's one that Jade could eventually lose to. The smaller versus taller, the David versus Goliath type of deal.
Oh yeah,
and the other technician versus the powerhouse, and she pulls that title off because I don't think they fought. But it was a great back and forth match, and that's what happened there. And Jade or Thunder Rosa was fighting her back, and then Tony Schiavone interviews Britt Baker's in the back doing a promo. Are you watching the boo? So while he watches the boo over there,
they act like he said some mean things. All he said was they just said tonight's the night, Ben. Boo.
Good. So they after the match interview Britt Baker. Britt Baker says, "Why am I fighting you? Like I just beat you on Sunday. I should have to fight you again." And I agree with out of all of it, the only downside I have this is why she like Britt Baker says she should have gone to the back of the line like everyone does, but yet neither did Adam Cole because Adam Cole's basically still fighting for this title again. It looks like a second time at All Out because of how the show started. So the people who lost the match are now getting back into another match. Kind of don't get it. How
many months is it between now and All Out?
2 months.
It's only 2 months?
Yeah, it's in May. It's only 2 months away.
My only assumption is now next week is St. Patty's Day Slam or whatever?
Yes, St. Patty's Day Slam. So, but if you're going to have Thunder Rosa win it here, why'd you even have her fight the pay-per-view? That was my downside. Why was this even a match?
Because it was a very random title eliminator.
Yeah. It's like, all right.
Because it wasn't like a group of women. It's just one. That's it.
Just one match.
Like a tournament. Well, I think too, though, maybe what's going on also, I believe All Out is where the Owen is going to be crowned.
Yeah, they start that.
So I think that's going to be getting started.
2 weeks.
That getting started, it's going to be hard to put the titles in different. Maybe like you're going to keep Adam Cole out of that tournament to continue to go with Hangman because CM Punk is like the greatest Bret Hart fan of all time. So I'm also assuming that means like
he's going to win
in general. So I could see him saying like instead of just jumping at the title at the moment. Him
win the Owen,
right?
Win the Owen, and then you have the chance to fight for the title after that, the next pay-per-view.
Exactly. So then, like, they can bring that from there. But like, I feel like he would think that something like that is more prestigious at the moment, and then go for the title. But this way, you extend the Adam Cole thing with Adam Page, and I also believe that also means that there's going to be.
Do you think it's going to be like
a Kenny
MJF,
move?
You think
it might be a three-way match kind of thing.
Like, what if you throw? Like, I'm trying to figure out who you would put in this cup. Like, if CM Punk
I think you're going to put more mid-carders than you're going to put anything. Like the younger, I think it's going to be a lot of like showcase matches. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like, you'll have your Lee Moriarty's, you'll have Danny Garcia, you'll have Swerve.
That's
like I think
right
those guys are going to be instantly
Cesaro
placed in there. If Claudio comes over, then you're going to have Claudio.
Give me Claudio.
Like I think that is going to be for that. You know,
that's right.
Like you said, with the women's division, there is only 23, so most of them are going to be in it.
Yeah, so it's either they expect to have the men and women's. So it's either next week or the week after that starts. So that's starting soon. They definitely announced. I can't remember what the date was. I think it was March. Maybe that's what it was. March 23rd is when that starts. I think.
And he said that the winners, the final matches will be at the pay-per-view.
Yeah, so you'll have that. So that happens.
So you're tying up a lot of potentially title guys.
It's hard. It's gonna be in a steel cage match. This Thunder Rosa Britt Baker match.
That's the other thing. I guess that they're giving that
cage match.
So it's probably going to main event Dynamite also.
Oh, definitely.
Like the lights out match did.
I can't wait to see that
last
match.
year.
That should be killer.
So it's going to be a cool way to blow it off with a cage match because
Yeah.
these two don't give a damn if it's
Well, now Britt doesn't
anything
have
close to
a
last year's
helper
match.
and all that stuff. I mean, the pay-per-view match was really good. So we can imagine. So then a final match comes up, and it's Scorpio Sky taking on Sammy Guevara. Like we said,
Sammy.
like we talked about Scorpio won, but
Thank God.
Sammy sets up Scorpio.
I like
on the
Sammy,
table.
but still, I'm glad that Scorpio won.
But here's how it happened because you missed it. So Sammy sets up Scorpio on the table outside. He goes for the 630. Scorpio gets out the way and he hits his back. And he hits his back. He falls to the ground. He can't move. Who comes out to his rescue? Because then Scorpio actually hits him. And then they go, no, back off.
Punches him? Or
no, it steps on him. Like steps on his head a couple times. After they were catering to him. And then the guy at ringside, I can't remember his name because he does it on the same line all the time. But the medical guy was like, hey, back off. Ty runs down.
The doctor?
To the ring. Yeah, the doctor. Ty runs
Doc Sampson.
Doc Sampson, thank you.
Yeah.
Ty runs down to the ring. See, I think she locked herself in the bathroom. Can you open it? Ty runs down to the ring to rescue Sammy. They're walking away from the ramp. They're getting ready to leave. And Sammy goes, no, I'm not done with this. Turns around and runs back into the ring. So now Ty's cheering for Sammy the entire time. He can't really move because he hurt his wrist by doing that 630. Paige Van Zam is at ringside because she's supposed to sign her contract tonight, and it hadn't happened yet. She gets Ty gets into her face. She's in she's in the fridge. Ty gets into her face. They get into an argument. She turns around back to cheer for Sammy. Sammy goes for another 630 from the top rope, and this time he gets his knees up. And he hits him on the thing, and he puts him in TKO and wins 1, 2, 3. As soon as that happens, they start beating him up. Ty gets attacked by Paige Van Zam. They beat the living hell out of her, beat up Sammy. They throw Ty on top of Sammy's body because we're being all lovey-dovey now. Throws Ty on top of Sammy's body. She has a contract, signs the contract on Ty's ass, and then drops the paper on top of him. And that's how they end it. She is now officially signed with AEW.
With AEW.
She's officially signed with AEW, and now she's apparently going to start this feud, I'm guessing, with Sammy and Ty.
I wonder if they're going to have her run Rousey style.
I mean, she's a legit fighter, so
right.
If you're going to go up against somebody else, Ty's a legit fighter too, so you might as well put those two together. I mean, she had a nice roundhouse on Ty that knocked her out, that basically dropped her body on top of Ty, or on top of Sammy.
Oh, straight kick-o?
She hit her with a nice roundhouse kicker. It was beautifully hit. So, so that's how it basically ended with America's top team standing tall.
It was a hell of a Dynamite. I saw an hour and a half, but it was a really good hour and a half. A lot was given to us, which I think Tony Khan really enjoys that. He really enjoys that cleansing of the palate after a pay-per-view where he can start really devising things, you're not stuck in a corner I need this match to happen in 2 weeks. So I think that's what you're getting now is he's able to kind of start bringing, there's breakups, there's signings, there's you can set a month or two reign up now with whatever the Hardys want to do as a tag team. You're going to be able to set up, like I said, even if it's Darby and Darby versus Jeff or them two together. It's now you want to know what's going on with FTR without Tully.
Yeah, what's going on there?
MJF going to respond to Wardlow? There's a lot of fun that's come out of it now where it's okay, Punk and MJF are out. They're done.
Oh, that was the other thing. Sammy was wearing a vest, and they go, "Oh, he's still wearing his Inner Circle vest." And I'm looking that's not an Inner Circle vest. It's just a Sammy Guevara.
He's wearing his Inner Circle vest?
No, he wasn't. It's just a Sammy Guevara on it. And they go, "Oh, I'm just being passed a note. It's not a vest. It's not an Inner Circle vest. It's just a Sammy Guevara vest." I was like, he wasn't wearing an Inner Circle vest. He just walked out with the vest on.
It just looked the same.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, you can't do that.
So all in all, like I said, it was a great show. That's something I forgot to mention to you. It was a great show. Pay-per-view was great. Your champion's here. I am the champ. Nobody can beat me. Jeff got lucky last time. It ain't gonna happen again. I will hold this title after all that as well. So we will see about that. Hopefully we go back
after
to one
all
TNT
out, I'm getting
belt.
my title back.
Unless Scorpio says, here, you hold the other belt so we can be dual TNT champs.
Oh, like he gives half it to Ethan.
I mean, there's 2 titles.
Yeah, hopefully he gets rid of that idea. It's really
Yeah, I'm
weird.
assuming he will.
It's
Sammy
annoying.
talked
if
about
he
on his
really
vlog how
does.
much he just wanted to keep it. So
Yeah, like hold on to one. Give Sammy one to keep for life or something like that, and then give that other one. So boom, done.
But we've been here long enough talking your ears off, everybody. We hope you
True.
like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff to the channel. We back for Rampage on Friday night. Or, yeah, Friday night I should do it as long as I'm feeling better. So,
Yeah.
any other parting words there, buddy?
No, actually. It was a hell of a show, guys. It was a fun week in the AEW department. Keep up the views and give us the views, as they say.
Give me the
And we'll be back.
reviews.
I should have news, a news show. Tomorrow is Friday. Yes, I'll have a Friday news. Because there's some cool things that came out that I'd like to get out there. So I'll have a news thing going out tomorrow at some point, and Ryan will have Rampage, and then we will be back next week. So remember, guys, there is Dark Elevation highlight show. We have a Dynamite. We have Rampage and news. That's 4 shows a week for the price of none. Yeah, that's right.
That's
It's
right.
free.
None. It is free.
So
Just
please
watch us.
watch us, support us, and we will do our best to make you guys happy. You know what I'm saying? So I'm out if you're out, brother.
I'm out. Enjoy the show, everybody.
All right, buddies.
Peace.
Peace.